In this standard, we're going to look at investigating a situation involving elements of chance using a simulation. We're going to simulate this situation. It's called Fruity Freezes. Fruity Freezes is holding a competition to boost icebox sales. Each icebox stick is stamped with one of 4 symbols. People who collect all 4 symbols receive a free movie ticket. Grace plans to buy an ice block every day until she gets a set of 4 different symbols. If she gets a set of 4 different symbols, she will stop buying ice blocks. However, she only has enough money to buy ice blocks for a maximum of 10 days. Some symbols are harder to get than others, as shown in the table. So the table shows that the apple symbol has a probability of occurrence of 0.4, the pineapple symbol has a probability of 0.3, the grape symbol has a probability of 0.2, and the strawberry symbol has a probability of 0.1. We're going to use Google Sheets and the random number generator in Google Sheets to simulate this Fruity Freezes competition. This is Google Sheets. As you can see, there are a lot of cells which you can enter in text or numbers or even formula that do stuff. Right now, A1 is highlighted, and I could enter in, for example, some words like test, enter, and now it's got a cell that is filled with words. I could also enter in some numbers like 23. But if I want to do something in Google Sheets, I need to first of all start with the equals sign. The equals sign means that it's now a formula, and I could do some simple math, for example 2 plus 3, and it will give the answer 5. Or I could do something a bit more interesting, especially in this case, and type in something like rand for random number. In fact, as you start typing in, it'll give you some information about what rand is. It says a random number between 0 inclusive and 1 exclusive. That means that 0 is included, but it could never equal 1, so 0.99999 will be the highest you're going to get. There are a few other random ones as well. Let's just try rand for a start and push enter and see what happens. Okay, it turns out we need some brackets, so let's put in some brackets. And you can see there that I've got a random number in cell 1A. I could make another random number. And the random number, I don't know if you noticed, but the random number in cell 1A has actually changed. In fact, every time I do something, the random numbers do change. That can be a bit of a nuisance, but there's a way to stop that, and I'll talk about that later. Okay, if I wanted a lot of random numbers, what I could do is copy them on a PC that's Control-C or Command-C on an Apple, and then I can highlight as many cells as I want and go Control-V and paste in a lot of random numbers. This is good because we're going to use random numbers to simulate our situation with winning ice blocks. Okay, so random numbers are good, but we're going to actually use a different function which is similar. It's going to be rand between. So rand between, it says an integer, so it's like a whole number, between 2 values inclusive. So if I go brackets, say 1, 10, what that's going to give me is a random number, a whole number, between 1 and 10, and it can include 1 and it can also include 10. And there you go, it's given me the number 5. If I copy that and paste a whole bunch of them, then I've got a whole bunch of random numbers, each of them between 1 and 10, and you can see here that 1 turns up and so does 10. Okay, so what is the use of this? This could be like simulating rolling a 10-sided dice. And then we're going to see that that's very useful for what we're about to do. So if you want to simulate rolling a 10-sided dice, then the function you want to use in Google Sheets is equals rand between brackets 1, 10 in brackets. If you wanted to simulate a 6-sided dice, then you could just do 1, 6 or any sided dice. Okay, so we know how to enter in a random number between, say, 1 and 10, and we know that simulates a 10-sided dice, and we could do the simulation a few times by copying it and pasting it. But we've noticed that the numbers keep changing each time. In fact, every time I paste all these things, they're going to change. How can we stop that? Well, say I like these numbers 8, 5, 5, 10, and 5. What I can do is I can select them, I can copy them, and then there's a special way to paste them so that they don't keep changing. If you go to Edit, and then down to Paste Special, and then Paste Values Only. There is a shortcut to do this just on the keyboard, but this way also works. Now, no matter what I do, those numbers aren't going to change. They're locked in. They were generated using random numbers, but now they're not going to change. And we're going to find out that's very useful.